Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Team Talk. I am your director, or one of your directors, for Team Wonder Bar. I am Patty Wonder, and tonight is our monthly chat, basically, the first Tuesday of every month. I go live at 8:30 New Zealand time, and try to give you some little tips and tricks to help you grow your business. So I'll just give it a minute so people can find me and grab their beverage and go pee and all those things. I can get my yawning out of the way. Maybe. It's been a crazy day. Please say hi when you've arrived so I know who's here. It doesn't always tell me. Hey, Joe. Joe, I actually thought you were gone. I thought you were, and then you keep coming up on my list. So I'm like, okay, she's not gone. So, hey, lady. Hello, other director, Janice Pettit. Command Master Chief. Ahoy, matey. I am... Shanti may not make an appearance today. Shanti's not feeling well today, so mommy's been helicopter parenting, amongst other things, today. So I think she's nauseous, and she's got an upset tummy, and she's just... I just keep Googling all the symptoms. And every time it just says, she's just nauseous. Take this food away. Take that. I'm like, all right. But I did give her different food because I felt guilty for being away pet sitting so much. So I did give her a different food, wet food, than she normally has. And I suck, apparently. And I know that dry food is totally, but she usually doesn't care about different wet food. I've had her a long time, but oh well. I never want to get rid of you, Miss Joe. All right, 8:32. Pick something out of my teeth. All right. Tonight I was trying to think of maybe some tips and tricks of things. If you guys, if there's certain things you'd like me to cover in trainings, let me know. A lot of things you can search for. You can use, search on YouTube, Scentsy, whatever you're looking for. Same thing with Facebook. Hey, Zara. Zara had, I'm going to brag on Zara a minute. She had over 2,700 PRV last month. So Zara's killed it. See, just gone, just like that. I wanted to, so if you have ideas of what you want training on, great. Oh, Facebook bar. So if you go to the Facebook search bar where you search for people, you can actually put other things in there. How to make a business page. You can actually type that in there. You can type in there, how to do this in groups, how to do that in groups. Anytime, because Facebook is always changing. And so every time, hi, new consultant in the room. You can always use the Facebook search bar to find other things. I am in so many groups, and I know a lot of you that have been in Scentsy are too. Feel free to go through and clean out ones you don't use, but there's a couple that are still amazing and great, and there are too many that I'm an admin of now for some reason. They've made me admins anytime they've come and asked me to speak, and I'm like they're Elevate, they made me an admin, and I would say on average I decline, like today there was 206 people wanting to get in, and I declined 205. So I'm just like, you guys fix this because I'm sick of doing this. But anyway, but I can go and just the regular Facebook search bar where you'd search for a person. You can, this is a tip, you can search for, so sometimes I'll be like, oh, I could put Scentsy Easter or Scentsy Mystery Bag or Scentsy Join. And and then across the top, it'll give you like, are you looking for posts, or are you looking for groups? Are you looking for pages? Are you looking for whatever? And you can click and you can see anything that's public that has been, or if you're in those groups, you can see what's been posted. So you can go back and go, oh, there it was. Oh, there it was. I also create, when you can save something on Facebook, I have different folders. So I have for my team, things I want to buy, gifts for my friends, gifts for the team. Because sometimes you see things on Facebook and you're like, oh, that's cool. I have to remember. I will never freaking remember. So I create little folders and put things in, really important posts, because people always ask me for the post about Earl and his progress and how he died and things like that. So I put all those from stuff and the press and the original post and all those things I put in a certain, I save it there too. I have one that's called Things I Want to Learn, and I save it in there because I love taking notes, but when I'm going through something and I'm listening to something, I'm like, oh, that's good. And I don't want to lose it, but I'm not ready to do it yet. So I have a little folder that says Things I Want to Learn. So remember that you have that option of creating little folders, but you have the option of the search bar to search for anything. How to boil water. Who sells the best carrots in Christchurch? I mean, you can honestly use it like Google. I use it specifically for Facebook things. Like, I knew I saw this on Facebook. Where the hell did I see it? And so I'll search for it in the search bar. The other thing I use it for is how to do things on Facebook. I didn't know how to set up a business page. I didn't know how to do certain things in groups. I didn't know what units were. I didn't know what this was. I didn't know what the mentor program was. So I actually put that in the search bar. What is mentor program? And usually it'll show you things that you can click on, just like Google, and then they take you to the article about how to work with Facebook better. So use search bars. Use them on Workstation, use them on Facebook, use them. Okay. So that's just a random, that wasn't even something I was going to really talk about much. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. So sorry. Tomorrow's Wonder Wednesday and I am so ready. I'm not going to post any more about the monthly movement, because I believe if you want to move forward, you will be in that group and you are responsible for your growth. I gave you tastes for the last week so that you could see what you're missing. But if you notice the army fatigue, the army camouflage things, that's kind of the theme for this month. The monthly movement group, I'm just going to give you a little backstory. The monthly movement group was created by superstar directors last March to kick off in April. And what it was superstar directors, because everybody was going into lockdown, already in lockdown, shit changed. All right. And so they were like, let's get everybody active. So Active in April began. And that's what the group used to be called. It used to be called Active in April. And it was superstar directors feeding us things to feed you, to help you get active. When people were losing their jobs, when people couldn't work, when people were stuck at home, all these things, Scentsy exploded, and it hasn't really stopped. We are one of the lucky ones that our business grew if you did something. And honestly, it's complete. My business has completely changed in the last year, completely, in a good way. I'm doing less home parties, but I'm still hitting great PRV. Scentsy Club, I've really grasped that. I really got onto that. I really looked at training on that. And I learned that I really like rewarding customers for shopping on my website, so I don't have to wrap and deliver. So I would rather send them goodie packs and things like that. So and they save money on Scentsy Club. As soon as they buy a tub of washer whiffs or 6 bars, well, actually, 5 bars, because they don't do bundles on there. They save 10%. So they can always save 10% on their tubs of whiffs. So there's a lot of things I learned in the last year. I think we can all say if we worked our business, we learned how to do new things. And if you didn't learn how to do new things, your business probably didn't go very far because you had to adapt. Social media became even bigger to rely on. And when I started Scentsy in 2015, I love social media, but if you go back to my pre-Scentsy, my accounts look very, very different. I learned social media. I used social media before I started Scentsy. I learned social media once I was in Scentsy. I didn't know. I am a no filter person though. I don't mind sharing everything. I don't care if everybody knows everything. I have nothing to hide. I think if you're not lying, just tell people everything because you'll never get caught in a lie. So I am very transparent that way. I get excited over lots of things. I like to share lots of things. And that is what we do. That we are not selling, we are sharing things. And I'm going to give you an example. A lot of you know that I eat plant-based vegan food, but I was getting, a lot of you have seen my food posts, and some of you freaking probably hate them. No fucking Patty on her vegan food. Ugh. And some of you are like, oh, that looks interesting. And I honestly have changed some people into trying plant-based one week. They might do a meat, but even one less day of meat is better for the planet and better for their health. So for me, 1 day a week is great. But for me, it was just showing people, hey, this is what I'm making. And hey, we still eat amazing food, even though there's not a dead animal in it. So for me, I don't agree with preaching about things. I would rather show you by action. So I would share what I made and I'd give my opinion on the meal. And people, when I wasn't doing it, because I stopped doing it for a while, that is the one thing people always ask me at parties. Yay, I haven't seen you posting about your food lately. Are you still doing that? Oh, I really like those posts. I saw it was so interesting. And I'm like, really? Because you don't know who's watching. So I always shared what I got, what I made, pictures of the food after I made it. I shared the recipe and the recipe card, and people in America were like using the recipes as well. And I would put on there, new to my food bag, save $50 by using this code. I don't know who saw it. I didn't care. I just put it out there. That is what we do, right? So this was just something. I got an email yesterday from my food bag. I have $650 in credit to use. I looked at the list of who used their $50 voucher. I don't know most of them. They found me because of the hashtags I used, because of me sharing it, because of I post everything public. I believe if you don't want everybody to see it, it shouldn't be on social media. Period. End of story. So everything I post is public. You actually don't have to friend me to see everything I post, but you'll probably see it more if you friend me. So I laughed at that email when it came, and I just giggled because I will bet you a shit ton of people were so sick of me posting food posts. Seriously. But $650 of credit to use towards my food bag. And most of those people just used my code. So they saw my post somewhere. That is kind of what I'm going to talk about tonight. But it was a great example of, do you think everybody liked my posts? Nope. Not at all. Did I care? Nope. I was just sharing what I do. I was just sharing what I do, what I eat, and hopefully maybe making a difference to one person. That's it. So that is something that's what I want to talk about tonight. So I do agree that if you want to do something, the big goal is to get everybody active in April. So this active in April thing last year became a movement, and it was huge. So the superstar directors, some of them started it. The company noticed. Heidi and Orville saw what happened, because when you get active, there is a pic that you get to print out and hold that says, I've got active in April, and you post on your social media. It becomes kind of like, it is a movement. It's a very much like a club, if you will. And it's fun to be part of things like that. And there's so many ideas in there. Freaking Jilly Sue, who is my guru, and I always tell everybody, go to YouTube and watch Jilly Sue videos if you want to learn how to do social media right for your business. But she's doing social media tips 3 times a week in that group. I'm just giving you simple basics today because a lot of you either have forgotten, don't know how, or aren't doing it correctly. Because I see a lot of posts, a lot I choose not to see. Again, settings is something you should go and have a dig around with so you can see and not see what you want. But definitely recommend the monthly movement. They shared my video today, and I had no idea that that was coming, and I was like, what the hell? There's over 22,000 people in that group. So replying to them is part of my job today. The other thing I want to quickly remind you about is Shining Star. If you have not nominated your Scentsy Shining Star, you have until the end of this month to do it, I believe. And I really want you to do it. You can nominate any consultant you want. This consultant should possess all the Scentsy values of simplicity, generosity, and authenticity. They should be a great leader. They should be giving. They probably made a difference to you. I usually nominate somebody. I usually nominate somebody in Region 1 because I'm close to a lot of people in Region 1, and they do really matter to me, and they do make a difference. And then I nominate somebody in Region 3. I don't know anybody in Region 2 well enough or close enough that I would nominate them. Oh my goodness! Way to go! The new girl did it, so y'all can do it that the rest of you are on here. Well done. Kaiza? Kaiza. Like geyser, but different. Like, she's gonna blow. Kaiza. Sorry. Welcome to Team Wonder Bar. There is a link in Workstation. If you put in the team page search bar Shining Star, you could probably put Nam. I would just put Shining Star. It'll probably come up as one of the posts. So, all right. So I have some notes, as you know I do. All right. Social media. Social media is not a one-sided relationship. Social media is as it sounds. It's social. Now, if you're like me and introverted and not really enjoying to be the social out the door, this is where you find your home. This is where Earl used to always say, Facebook isn't real. And I'm like, that's where all my friends are. Shut up. Because he was an extrovert. So for him, his friends were singing karaoke. My friends are in my computer because most of my friends are also introverts and live an airplane away. So, so you have to learn how to be social on social media. If you are just posting and you are not engaging and you are not responding and replying and commenting and all those things, it's not social. It doesn't do the same thing. You're just basically a commercial on TV that people watch, but you don't know if anything else. You're just blasting it at them. I did my job. I just told people I'm out. That's not social media. That's not how it works. Basically, our job is to show and tell. But it's not just the products that we're showing and telling. People are buying you. First and foremost, before any purchase from Scentsy, they are buying you in most case scenarios. When somebody asks for a Scentsy consultant in some random group, my name always gets tagged. And when they contact me, they say, oh my gosh, I watched a couple of your videos. I just love your personality. I had to contact you. They got a feeling for me. They saw me. They saw me with makeup. They saw me without makeup. They saw me in a hat. They saw my pink hair. They saw me turn my nose up at things. They saw my ridiculous sense of humor. They heard me probably cuss. Do you know what I mean? Like, they got a quick sense of who I was. We have over 250,000 consultants worldwide. People can buy Scentsy from whoever the hell they want. They can choose not to know anybody and just use the consultant locator and find their closest person, lead and above, that's active on the Scentsy site. But it's really rare that people don't want a connection. So even if people find you that way, and you'll know if that's how they found you, because it'll say Scentsy.com next to their name on your order history. And when you contact them and say, oh my gosh, thank you so much for your order. You know, I saw that you found me on the Scentsy consultant locator. Did you need a new catalog, or can I send you anything, some samples or anything? I see you ordered By the Sea. Do you normally like fresh scents? I would love to send you a little thank you pack. You know, I have their address, I have their email. I don't need all that. I just needed to connect with them. And I might say, oh my gosh, how long have you been using Scentsy? Get that conversation rolling so I get to know her. Because then they'll be like, oh, I started using it after I got 3 dogs and whatever. Oh my gosh, what kind of dogs do you have? So it becomes a conversation, not just, you are not a drive-through. A drive-through business isn't really what you're striving for. There are some people that do that, but this business is so much more than the product. It really is. And the more people like you and the more they feel connected to you, the more loyal they're going to be, and the more they're going to trust you, which means they'll give you probably more money and introduce you to friends and refer you wherever they go and carry your business card. Whenever there's a women expo, I never do that expo, but my business goes up, and people who are working in that booth always message me during the day going, oh my gosh, your customers are so loyal. When I talked to them, they said, no, I have a consultant, and they showed me your card. Or they're like, Patty Wonder, and they drop my name. So that takes being social. That takes engagement. That takes me, I have to say this in a nice way. A lot of times, I'm not really interested in the niceties of things. I just want the answer, want to go through it, done. I'm very black and white. So a thing that I do when someone messages me after I follow up and they go, oh, thank you so much, I hope you're well. I'm like, oh crap, this is a conversation. Damn it. So I go, oh, I'm great. What can I say? I've been doing a lot of like pet sitting over Easter. What did you get up to during Easter? It's part of the process. Do I enjoy that process? Not really. I'd like it just done and dusted. But I know that will make that person feel good, because they will be able to tell me all the things they did with their families and their grandchildren and blah, 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 right? So every time I'm triggered to just go, I know I have to write something squishy. So you'll learn. Everything is very intentional. Let them see you. Let people see who you are. Be silly, be funny. Don't keep trying to be so damn perfect that you don't do anything, because perfect is not relatable. If somebody's makeup and hair is always perfect, and you know the majority of your audience never wear makeup, or they're usually in sweats, and you show up with your makeup all done in a ball gown, the connection isn't going to be the same. It's not going to be the same. They'll be nosy and want to know why, but it's not the same. When you show up to a party, if you showed up in a ball gown and everybody's in jeans, different vibe again. So figure out kind of who your audience is. I do a lot of rural parties now, so but I've always done jeans. I always do black jeans and a Scentsy t-shirt, but my hair and makeup are always done because it just is. The American in me. But when I go live, it's not. I will a lot of times just throw a hat on so I don't have to wash my hair, which is what I did today, and no makeup, and just do it, because they need to see you being normal. They need to see you being like them, right? Okay. Be vulnerable, be real, you know, talk about things that are important to you, not just your family, but what else matters to you. What do you stand for? What are you passionate about? What do you seem to do that when people see it, they go, oh, I bet this is, and they scroll down and go, yep, it's her. I will tell you, I bet most of you that have known me a long time know exactly what I post about and what I'm passionate about. I'm very consistent. But there's only a couple things that I am so passionate about that I will not tolerate anything that goes against that. In the comments, I'll delete them and I'll unfriend people. So, but people know where my love is. They know where my heart is. People get invested in Peter. I volunteer, and the amount of people that want to meet Peter, people are going to be sending Peter gifts from all over the world. Remember the ornament fiasco? Well, we're going to be, I shouldn't call it a fiasco, it was a movement itself. But they are invested in my story with Peter. If you watch the training from SFR, or was it World Tour? Was it World Tour? It was World Tour about storytelling. Your story is really important. It's how people connect. Your story on your personal website is really important. People can shop for consultants until they get a vibe that they like. I am somebody that if you're quoting Bible verses and you have 12 children and let's be careful. This is me going, don't say what you want to say, babe. Anyway, this happened because I joined another company before Scentsy. And I was just like, oh, no. You know? By the way, I ended up joining one of them anyway, because she was the highest up. And for me, levels matter. I want somebody that knows what the hell they're doing and has gotten somewhere that I'd want to go. But you tend to look for what you relate to. You know, if somebody says, I'm single, I prefer dogs over humans, I'll be like, I'm yours. That kind of thing. So figure out what your thing is and tell people who you are. Share your life. Share what you're doing. 90% of what you share on social media has nothing to do with the products. That gets people attention. If I showed you, my mouse batteries are dying, but if I showed you which posts got the most engagement, the most attention, the most likes, the most comments, none of it has to do with Scentsy, and that's the point. The point isn't to get the engagement from the Scentsy post. The point is to get your engagement and your audience built big enough and engaging enough that when you do throw a Scentsy post in there, more people see it. That's the point of social media. It's not really to push products and have a stock photo. That's not really what it's about. I still do them because sometimes I'm laying in bed, I'm like, oh my God, this comes out tomorrow. I'll just post the details and make a pretty picture later. So I do it too, but it's really, aw, thanks, Kat. Welcome back, Kat Black. Kat Black rock star. Kat Black went on a cruise to the Mediterranean with Scentsy. So you want to add value, and you might say, I can't. I don't know what to add. I don't have value. You do. So people that are my friends know that animals are really important to me, super important to me, like oxygen, animals. Second of all, human rights, LGBTQ, Black, people of color, Muslim, whatever. I am all about equality, and I'm getting more feminist as I get older. But animals and human rights and equality are two big things with me, huge things with me. Showing people that vegetables and vegan food or a plant-based food is more than lettuce is also become something. And Peter, person I volunteer with Age Concern, that journey, because before Peter it was Maria, and everybody was very invested in Maria as well. They like to see good things. People like to see good things that make them smile, things that make them feel good, things that make them look at themselves and say, I should do some more. I should volunteer. I should do this. I should. You know what I mean? Like, it's amazing. Age Concern told me that even though they do social media, when I do a post about calling Age Concern, my rate of getting people calling into them to inquire about volunteering is higher than any of the campaigns that they run. Just little old me. So I know that my reach is far. I might not know how far until they tell me, but I know that I'm putting the thought into people's head. And a lot of social media is just that. You might not know that people are watching you. You may not know that you mattered. But just sharing, you are a shareaholic. That's what you need to be. Take interest in others, go into groups. Now, this is one area that I do admittedly, I'm like, I have to do better at this one. But I am in certain groups. I'm in a child-free group, which is brutal, which is hilarious. But I am a child-free group. I am in a Staffy lovers group. I'm in a lot of vegetarian and vegan groups. I am in planner groups because I like planners. So where are your interests? The idea is that you put yourself in groups and connect with people in them through comments. Oh my God, that was cool. Oh, like there was a girl that posted a picture of her planner yesterday, and her penmanship, I was like, oh my God, my planner's so messy. But her penmanship was amazing. And I immediately went, oh my gosh, your penmanship is just, perfection. And just little things like that, just so people see your name and they go, oh, who's that? And make sure that your picture on your profile is something that shows your eyes. Hopefully you're smiling, no sunglasses, happy photo of you on your profile. Again, that connects people to you. It's great to have your dog. It's great to have your kids. But that doesn't tell them who you are. Not at all. They can't see your eyes. People need to see your eyes and your smile and your teeth, and they need to feel ya. Feel your vibe. Go into groups or Insta profiles who share the same interest. Here's something Jilly Sue taught me, and I went, oh, duh. It's so logical sometimes when people say things and you're like, do not go to Instagram and follow all Scentsy people. Go to Instagram and follow people that have interest that you have. You don't need to follow other Scentsy people. There's a couple that I follow, because they become my friends or because they give really good advice, like Jilly Sue. And Chloe Cox, she shows a lot of what she does with her business on her gram. So that's why I follow her. It's like, because I want to be Chloe Cox. So in that respect, but for the most part, go into if you don't know, once again, search bar. Yeah, Google and Jilly Sue. Seriously, Jilly Sue on YouTube. But Instagram is all about the hashtags. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about hashtags because they matter, especially on Instagram. But you go and look for people that you like. I go to the search, the little search eyeglass, magnifying glass thing, whatever the hell it is, on Instagram. And it shows me things that I have liked ish. So there's lots of lions, there's lots of motivational sayings, there's lots of things about Geminis, there's lots of things about animals, Hummers. I follow a Hummer page because I want a big black Hummer, the Humvee, the vehicle. I like Cane Corsos, and I follow a lot of Cane Corso, the dog, profiles and stuff like that. So I get a lot of those suggestions, and I actually go there. Now, if it's somebody that is makeup or it's something else that I like, go and comment on their post. And if they comment back, one of the most mind-boggling things that happened to me is I talk to Heidi Thompson a lot on Instagram. The other person I tend to have conversations with is Kathy Freston. Now, Kathy Freston is known around the world as like the vegan, she's known about because she's promote veganism, but she does it in a really kind way. She's not like a vegan terrorist, as I call them. She's not like an extremist to where she's like, you suck because you ate meat. She doesn't do that. She's just kind of like, can you just lean into it? Maybe have meatless Monday. Like, she's really sweet and kind and lovely and gentle and just nice. She's not a crazy buffoon. And so, but she responds to me every time I message her, private message her, comment on her post. And I'm always like, I can't believe she's messaging me. But Instagram is still about relationships. You still need to go comment on people's things, ask them questions, message them, ask them more questions. Hey, thanks for saying this. Oh my God, I totally loved your layout. It is work. Social media is work. The one thing I always say to new consultants is do not think that you need to set up a business page right away. Because unless you are 100% committed, it is like getting a puppy. Your social media accounts are like puppies. That's the best analogy I could come with today when I was sitting there trying to think of it. You have to water it, you have to feed it, and you have to take it for a walk every single day. And you have to love it, and you have to care for it, and you have to show up for it. You don't just get it and leave it in the corner and walk away and you go, it's too busy. It doesn't work that way. People are not going to come running to you just because you said, hey, I'm selling Scentsy. Look at my business page. Oh my God, like it. That's not how this works. And I'll tell you something else. When you try to get people to like your page and you go, I want to try to get to 1,000 likes today. If you have 1,000 people like something and only, this is more Facebook than Instagram, and only 2 are commenting and liking things, those other people they don't need to exist. They're not going to see anything you post. So it's pointless. Use your organic growth. And organic growth comes from building relationships. It comes from talking to people. It comes from having conversations in comments. It comes from private messaging. It comes from consistency. It comes from going live and engaging while you're live and joking around with them. It comes from sending them happy mail and inviting them to your page. It comes from all the things. And social media is not just post it and it's magic. It isn't. It's work. It's a lot of work. So if you think it's going to be instant because you put up a picture of some pods and 800 people are going to buy pods from you that day, no. Maybe 70 people saw it 50 didn't know what the hell it was. 5 said, oh, ooh, that sounds good. And 1 said, ooh, you just reminded me I need to place an order with you. Can I get a 6-pack of wax? That's how that works. It's not what you think. It's not what you think. I'm like running out of time. Does that make sense about who to like and who to friend on Facebook? I friend as many customers. I come home from a party. I should say this. Covering up. Once I put the orders on a clipboard and I hang the clipboard up. So all my party orders are hanging by clipboards. Order comes, I do the delivery, whatever. And then before I put these in a certain place, I go through and I add the emails to my MailChimp. Make sure their names, because when Amy tells me to follow up, I make sure I put their names in my phone as well. But the other thing I do is I friend request them. And if you don't know, I go to the event that I created on Facebook for the party. And I just go down and say, who came to the party? Oh, I'll friend her, I'll friend her, I'll friend her. And I friend request them. And they can see I know 20 of the same people that they know. So they usually say yes. That's all. But I hope this is kind of making sense of what social media kind of is, because I think some people have a really jacked up idea of what it is and or your expectations are very different. Your main goal when you're new is to talk to as many people as possible. It is not to post on a business page that you created and spend all this time on and then sit and wait and pray that somebody takes notice and wants something. That's not how it works. It's exactly why when I do a welcome photo for my team members, I welcome them publicly on their page too, and on my page together, because I tag them in my post. And I say, if this is your friend or family member, oh my gosh, you need to support her by going to her PWS or calling her for a sniffy session, because sometimes people are too shy when they start, but you can't be shy and go places. You need to put it out there and be bold and brave. So I do it for them. And you'd be surprised at how many people go, oh my gosh, that's so great. Oh, great. I'll get my Scentsy from you now. And a lot of people will have been my customers for a long time, but their friend joined. So I want them to go to their friend. And so I know they're going to see it on mine, even if they don't see it on hers. So that's the other reason. They still know she's connected to me. So some people feel safer that way because they don't trust their friends are going to be consistent or reliable or whatever, or they're going to stick with it, or she's done 100 other things and we'll just see what she does, but we'll stay close to Patty. It happens. So this is a way that I help promote somebody's business as well, to try to get their friends to go, oh my gosh, that's great, because she might not have done it, right? The other thing is, here's something a friend of mine, Nikki B, taught me a long time ago when I was starting to figure out social media. And you're going to notice it if you're in the movement group, you're going to notice me doing it because I started already. When people comment on the video that I'm in or comment on a post, I might acknowledge that I saw it with a reaction. And then I pick 2 to 3 to say thank you and reply to, but not all of them. And then the next day I come back and do the same thing. So when you post something, say this is your post, and my friend's pen, you post something, so it's in everybody's eyesight, right? The more people that comment, the more it stays in people's eyesight. As soon as people go to sleep and people stop commenting, it starts to fall in people's feeds, right? As soon as somebody comments, it goes back up into people's eyesight again. And the same thing happens. Oh, comment. Oh, comment, 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 comment. No comments. So when you go in and comment and reply to somebody that has commented, it boosts it up. So if you're doing this every day it helps boost and keep it in front of people's faces, which means more people will see it. And so by doing little bits every day, you're keeping it here. If you do all in one hit on the first day and then nobody else comments, it just goes away. Right? So that's how that works. So that's where I've kind of said this before, I know, but don't reply to all of them right away. Save it. Use it to bring it back. Bring it back. Keep it here. Because the more people that'll keep it here. When I see somebody has a really good post and it's come across my feed, one of you guys, and it doesn't, this happens to Vicky O'Donoghue actually a lot. And she's been one of my best friends for almost as long as I lived in New Zealand. She lives in Australia now. But when I see something, I'm like, oh, that's a great post. I will put some sort of emoji, GIF, or something in the comments. And as soon as I do that, all of a sudden she's got 2 more comments. Like somebody else is like, ooh, I'll comment too. Because nobody saw it until somebody commented, and then it boosted it back up. So then people were like, oh, they're seeing it for the first time. So that is kind of how, oh my gosh, Kathy. So that's what she was watching without sound. So that's a magic trick for your business as well. If there's a really good post and it gets engagement, utilize it. Be very intentional with your comments. The other great thing is, if some of those people you haven't really talked to a lot and you don't know very well, ask them a question. They'll be like, oh, that's funny. And you'll be like, and you could say something like, oh, do you have dogs? Does your dog do that? Kind of thing. And then they reply, and then you reply. And now Facebook says, oh my gosh, they like each other. They want to see each other's things. That sounds bad. They want to see each other's posts. Me and my dirty mind. Okay. So do you guys understand why replying and commenting, does that all make sense? Can you just kind of give me a heads up, or did I lose you somewhere? I'm going to go to hashtag shortly. Or next. Yes, made sense? Learning anything? I know there's a delay. Okay, questions? I'm terrified on this one because social media is not my wheelhouse. It is not my wheelhouse. I go to Jilly Sue for any questions that I have. I watch her videos. I go there first, and if I still don't understand it, I'll do another video. If I still don't understand, I'll be like, Jill, help. I don't understand. And then Jill helps because I'm lucky enough to say she's now my friend. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kat, for your answer. Okay, hashtags. How many of you use hashtags and know you're using them correctly and know why you're using them? I actually had to Google today. I know why, I know how, and I know what about hashtags. But to explain it to somebody is very different. It's kind of like me and party presentation a lot of times, or recruiting. It's hard to like put it into words, kind of why I do or what I do. But that's part of the being a leader. So I went, okay, help me explain this, Google. Okay, because some of you use hashtags, but I don't think you understand why or the reason behind it. Now, for those of you doing Scentsy Snapshot, so for those of you that are new or returning, Scentsy Snapshot, hashtag Scentsy Snapshot is something that you want to tag, especially on Instagram, you want to use in your photos of yourself. So if you do one of these, or if you had, I did the ones where the good lighting, good coloring, like make sure things are working right. I found my magic spot outside that gives me good lighting. I know what kind of day I need to be at. And here's the thing, when I have good makeup on, my hair's looking good, and the lighting's good, I go outside, I grab a whole bunch of products, grab my kit, and I stand outside in that spot and I do lots of selfies with all sorts of weird things. And I just take a whole bunch. And then I use those over in the future. So whenever I need a photo of me and a product, instead of just a picture of this from your freaking website, I can go and get the photo, because that photo gets way more traffic than a picture from your PWS. So use those days where you're like, I'm looking kind of cute today. Use it. You might end up in the catalog. But Scentsy Snapshot, that hashtag is what Scentsy's looking at, especially for the new catalogs. True. That is definitely one of the other reasons. Correct. Thank you, Kim. So hashtags. They won't work if you use spaces, punctuation, or symbols. The other thing is, I've seen some of you put hashtag dog, hashtag cat, hashtag mouse, hashtag elephant, and there's no spaces in between those things. So it should be hashtag dog space, hashtag cat space, hashtag mouse space. Because otherwise it's just a big mess. It doesn't do the same thing. All right. Make sure that your accounts and your posts are public. I do not follow anybody that has a private Instagram account. I just don't. Unless I really know them like personally kind of thing. But I'm just like not interested. Not interested. And if you have a business, shouldn't be private. You want everybody to find you. And the more you're hiding, the worse it is. That's one of the reasons why business pages on Facebook are great. I get a lot of new customers that find me because of my business page, because everything on there is public. Where groups, you can have a group, but it's very different. A VIP group should just be for your VIPs, so that you can create better relationships with them inside of that group. They will, you're going to do special posts and games and do lots of lives in there. And they're the people that are helping your business. They aren't just every Tom, Dick, and Harry that wants to be in your group, so you add them. That's not what VIP groups are for. Not in the essence of really what you're looking for. Everybody that doesn't purchase within 18 months gets kicked out of my group, my VIP group now. They can still see almost everything on my business page, because I'm consistent at that as well. But they don't get the same things as VIP gets, because they're not really supporting me. So if they referred, yes, and you know if they're working with you or if they're just whatever, then I'm whatever too. You could just look at everything else. Don't string too many words together. Sometimes I do it as a joke because it's more about a smart ass remark. Be very intentional with your words. Be specific and not too obscure, or others won't find you. So kind of what Kim said, but when you say you are on the hunt for a new water bottle, you go to Instagram and you put hashtag water bottle in the search bar. You're going to see everybody that used that hashtag. This is how people find you. So if you use Scentsy, great. But you know how many other things they're going to see when they say Scentsy? So I use wax melts, I use fragrance, I use scent, I use Waikuku Beach, I use New Zealand, I use North Canterbury, I use vegan, I use eat your veggies, I use plant-based, and when I'm talking about recruiting, I use friendship, I use money, make money from home, work from home, stay at home mom. You have to look at hashtags as when someone's searching for something, what will they be searching for that I could get into that for? Animal lover, I love dogs, Hashtag dog. Oh my God. So many. But it gets you, when people go to Instagram to search in the search bar, it'll say tags. So you hit tags and then you put in stickers. And it'll bring up everybody that use hashtag stickers. So you can actually go through and quickly view, oh, that looks cool. Let me click on that. Oh, that looks cool. Look at that. And this is why you want your photos to be good. And here's another thing. The more words you have on your photos, the more it's going to get ghosted by social media. Use your words in your post. Do not use them in your photos, because social media doesn't like them. Stories and live videos are number one. They're going to get the most plays all the time. It's going to get you the most attention. It's going to get you the most engagement all the time. Secondly is videos. So record a video if you're too chicken to go live. Record a video and then post it. Third thing is pictures of you. You doing fun things. You holding up your products. You being silly. Good lit, good photos. When you take photos, you want to look towards the light. You don't want the light behind you, because then all you see is the light. They don't see you, right? I'm trying to give you some tips, because to get noticed on social media, you have to grab someone's attention. How are you going to do it? Did the bunny post I did today right before I went live, did that grab your attention? Like, what the fuck is Patty doing? That's the kind of thing. Exactly. Yep, exactly, Sarah. So you want to think about who you would want in your business, who would be looking for what you're selling, what you're showing, what you're talking about, and who your people are. Because everybody's not your person. Everybody is not your tribe. Certain people that I gravitate to, some of you would be like, oh, hell no. So you have to find your tribe. But to know that, you have to also figure out so pay attention. There are so many things on Google about hashtags. And different platforms prefer different amounts of. Is Instagram more available or popular than Facebook? It's definitely different. It's not better or more. Instagram is more popular for people that have gotten away from Facebook because they don't like the drama. Facebook is like the grandpa. Like, it's an over 40s platform. Instagram is where the young people are. It's where the entrepreneurs and the techies are. They have a Facebook page to cover their bases, but they do a lot of what I do, which I post on Instagram and it auto posts to my business page. So it looks like I'm doing both. So there's a lot of that. And YouTube is still king ding-a-ling. So having a YouTube channel and getting that up and going is really, I think it's good for your team, and it's also good for your customers, and it's good for your reach as well. But very different algorithms. Even though Facebook owns Instagram, very different algorithms. Very different. Okay, so why do you want to use them? Including hashtags in your posts means taking part in a conversation happening on social media. It makes your post visible in that conversation. They can lead to greater engagement and building likes, shares, comments, and new followers. You have to remember that on Facebook, likes and loves are bullshit. They don't get you what you want. Comments get you what you want. So my mom used to say, how can I help you because I can't buy from you? I'm like, comment on everything I post. Comment. Comment, comment, comment. When people don't know how to help me or they can't buy from me or whatever, I say, comment on my post, please. That is helping me. When people comment on my posts on my business page, I send them thank you notes and say, thank you so much for taking time to comment on my post today about Stitch. You might not know it, but that really helps my business and I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, it's another layer of building the relationship. It helps people that are looking for or interested in the things you mentioned to find you. So when I decided I want to buy a Humvee, at some point. It's always been my dream vehicle. And so I did hashtag Hummer, and boom, lots of pages about Hummers, lots of pictures about Hummers, groups, people, whatever. So it allowed me to find them and then like their account or like their pictures. And if you are engaging, oh, it's 9:30. If you are engaging that way and you're liking things, they'll check you out and they might like you back. So you can kind of tell who does that and who doesn't do that. The things that get me the most engagement are my hair pictures when I'm getting my hair done. Dogs and cats, death. I'm not lying. Death. Earl post. Peter posts on my volunteering. And just really, and actually my food posts don't do too bad, to be honest, because they're a little bit different than what other people post. And the Kai Poi kids, always, my pet sitting gigs, always get a good thing. You can go to, write this down, HASHTAGIFY, hashtagify.me, M-E, and you can go to RiteTag, RITETAG, and they will tell you which tags are trending in your industry or what you're looking for or what's related to it. So if you put in dogs, it'll probably show you dogs, but it might show you, well, these are the top ones trending for that. So you can use hashtags that are trending, which will get more traffic to your Instagram post. Instagram's really big on the hashtags, but I'll tell you what, if you go to Facebook and in the search bar, put hashtag Kai Poi Kids or hashtag pet sitter, I bet you my posts come up. And Kai Poi Kids is what I call the 4 animals that I pet sit in Kai Poi. And so I started hashtags. I also have a hashtag Patty and Peter. And here's why. When it's time to go looking for some photos, because somebody said, hey, do you still have that photo? Or tell us about this. I can immediately put in the Facebook or the Instagram search bar, hashtag Patty and Peter, and all my pictures will come up. So it's a great way to organize things, and it's like a folder. It's kind of, if you look at it that way as well, it's kind of like an organizational system. It's like Scentsy Snapshot. Scensy's like, hey, we want pictures of consultants using products with really good photos. So use hashtag Scentsy Snapshot. So all they do is go to the search bar in Instagram and on Facebook and put hashtag Scentsy Snapshot and then look at all the photos and pick out the ones that catch their eye. That's what they do. So that is how you do that. So if you're creating a fundraiser or if you're creating something with a following like Patty and Peter or the Kai Poi Kids, give it a hashtag. Come up with something creative, give it a hashtag, and that way when people, you can easily find it. Yes. There's so much, Sonia, on Google. I'm just trying to keep it kind of basic. The other thing, you can also, here, let me quick write this down. So optimal number to use. If you're on Twitter, you use 1 to 2 hashtags. Facebook, it says 1 to 2. I'll probably do like 4. Instagram, 5 to 10. Instagram stories, you can use up to 10 on Instagram stories. 2 to 3 on YouTube. If you use a lot on YouTube, they might flag your video and not post it. 1 to 2 on LinkedIn. And again, LinkedIn, my posts on LinkedIn are very different geared than Facebook or Instagram because it's more of a professional leadership, entrepreneur, different. It's very different than just my penis shoes that I shared today on Facebook. You wouldn't do that on Instagram or on LinkedIn, I mean. So Pinterest is 2 to 5. So just things like that. You can use them for organization, as I said. So in our group, in our Team Wonderbar page, I could put hashtag samples or hashtag, but I just put the word. You'll just see random words at the bottom because when you search in the search bar for a sample or leadership or a host packet, they're going to come up even without the hashtag. You can use analytics on your accounts. You have to go and Google how to find them. So you can see if people are clicking on hashtags, as Kim said, and what ones they're finding you through. So if somebody hashtag dog, they probably found your picture and then clicked on it, and that analytic will be there to show you, hey, that's how you got that person to click on you. Last things, show it all off. No matter how big, no matter how small, postcard, confetti, an order that you get in Happy Mail, a great message from a customer, orders, unpack your orders, your customer orders live. One of the posts that always has always gotten me really good play is when you take everything out of the order and you prep it up on a table. I don't have really room much anymore. I do a couple here and there. And you set it up real nice and you take a picture of everything in that order. People's minds are blowing because for them, they're like, oh, she sells Scentsy, but they don't understand how much an order is. And so when they see it, they go, wow, people must really like that stuff. Oh, she's doing really well. Oh, they assume things, which are good things. So show off everything. Do live sniffing. My customers' favorite things are me getting new scents in. Somebody said, are you getting the garden collection so I can watch you smell them and then decide? And I'm like, oh crap, I wasn't gonna, but I guess I am. But I got them for free, so it's fine. But I was just like, fine, I guess I'm getting them. So I got them so that now I can do the smelling. Anyway, everybody loves those videos. When I go to parties, people are like, oh my gosh, you have to watch her do sniffing videos. Apparently I'm funny. I don't know. I don't lie and my face can't either. And if we wanted to play a drinking game, the word would, y'all drink when you say would, when I say would. You never know who's watching. I don't care if it is a charm, a piece of paper, a ribbon, I'm looking around, whatever. You know, today Zara and Sarah showing their top 10s and then they just marked off everybody else. It's important. It shows that you're serious about your business. It shows that you're having fun. It's showing that you're getting recognition from doing something you enjoy. Most people don't do that. Most people get recognized for what they do wrong at work, or they don't get recognized at all. Most mothers don't go, God, you know, they don't hear from their kids, that was an amazing meal, Mom. Thank you so much for working so hard at making our dinner. You did great. No, people don't hear things like that every day. It's good. It's good. And Happy Mail, you know, people might not comment and they might not engage, but they see it. Trust me, they see it. People want to join someone who is passionate in getting more than bills and newspaper in their letterbox. They want that too. It's a lot easier to recruit when you're sharing all the good stuff. And mind you, the trips really help when you're sharing pictures, but damn with the COVID. The more you worry about yourself or what people think, the more you are dimming the possibilities. Just stop worrying about what everybody's thinking about you. Stop worrying about looking perfect and go live and talk to people. Kirsty did it and she ended up enjoying it and she was terrified. So I'm really proud. Read a lot, watch a lot, and research how to. Almost everything I've had to learn through watching and researching and search bars and YouTube and all those things. And I wrote that: search bars, YouTube, and Jilly Sue. Jilly Sue, Jilly Sue, Jilly Sue, until I'm blue in the face. Jilly Sue. Oh, quick last tip. Somebody taught me how to do this. Can't remember if it was Nikki or Jilly. When you have, some people have normal, like all the time, they use the same hashtags. For instance, when I have pet sitting or when I have plant-based food or Scentsy stuff. And here's the thing, when you put Waikuku Beach, if you go to Instagram and hashtag Waikuku Beach, you're going to see my Scentsy posts, but you're going to see a lot of beach photos too. But it's just me and beach photos on my Scentsy posts. And that'd be like, oh, somebody's in Waikuku selling Scentsy. that's why I use the location thing as well, because when people look for things in the area, they go, oh, they might just stumble upon me and might need a consultant. That's why I use them. But in the note section of your phone, put your hashtags that you use, and then you just have to copy and paste them. You don't have to keep typing them out over and over and over again. So that was something useful that somebody told me once, and that works as well. So that's what I have planned. I'm sorry it went long. Any final questions before I go? I know it was a lot, but do you kind of understand social media a little bit better? It's not easy. It's a commitment, and it's not instant. It takes lots of work, and it takes consistent attention. I love those, your visuals. What did I say? Oh, what did I say? I'll quickly stay on for one more minute in case anybody has any final questions or whatever. You're welcome, Janice. You're welcome. I was trying to think of just really basic things without going too deep. But I've just seen a lot. And also remember with the charity warmer and Disney things, don't touch it. One thing I will say as well is, I always say, if you live amongst other consultants, like if there are other consultants in your area, everybody get together on one day and bring product. And then everybody have your makeup done and your hair done and your clothes right, and go have a photo shoot session with each other and use each other's picture or products so that you don't have to buy everything. You can actually just go, oh, I don't have that. Does somebody have one of these? I want to take a picture with that. And the more you put your face in photos, the more people don't use them and steal them, because that is actually probably my final word. There are a lot of people that take a lot of time to write and think of something to say that fits their personality in a post and create a photo. And then somebody plagiarizes it and steals the wording and doesn't change anything, doesn't ask permission. She just uses the same word, she just copy and paste into hers, like it's hers. Now, we are all for sharing, but sometimes it takes people a long time to talk from their heart and their experiences. I use different words than most Kiwis do. I speak very different. So if a Kiwi actually copies what I say, it's not theirs. I don't say the same things, and people know if that's you or not you. And it's a really yucky feeling. Yes, Janice. Yes. So if you do like what somebody said, because there are times where I go, oh my God, that's perfection. And I'll message them and say, hey, Susie, do you mind? I really loved, and I take a snapshot. I really love this post. Would you mind if I use the words? I'll change some things around though, so it's not exactly, and usually if they're from America, so it doesn't, I have to change things anyway. But do you mind if I use that? And they usually go, no, go ahead. But you using it without asking permission is rude. It is plagiarizing. And that's why when I post pictures in the group and in those things, it's like, yep, you can use these. Yep, you can use these. But please be kind and considerate, please. Thank you, Patty. I'm going to be more of a, yes. And Kim, you are so much into the oh my gosh, I was going to say Atarua, but it's not. Tereo Maori. You could use that. I'm like, you have different, again, connections, and use your Maori heritage as part of some of your hashtags, because they're going to see it and want to do business with somebody else that's Maori, support the sister. So think about your connections. Think about who your people are, because my people love animals. My people love all people. So I know, Sarah, I know. And that was very much directed there. But it's also just a good reminder for everybody else too. Like, it's okay. We like to share, but talk and ask, and there's some times where I sit and I'm not in the mood, and it takes me a long time to write a really good post. And so the most disheartening thing is seeing somebody just go, oh, I like that. Click, click. It's mine. I mean, it's social media, so you kind of have to like be okay with it a little bit, but it doesn't mean it's right. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I hope it helped. And Janice, I would use I Love Japan. I would use, or some saying that they say that you use around your house. Bonsai. Oh, bonsai, Daniel-san. Bonsai. Sorry. You know, figure out. It's not always exactly what you're posting about. It's who you want to attract to that thing, if that makes more sense. Okay, I'm done now. I promise. Have a wonderful Wonder Wednesday. I have a couple things I have to do, and I'm going to babysit Shanti and make sure she's okay. So, all right, you guys, I love you. Get active in April. Go to the monthly movement group and get on some of that stuff. It is some of the best training I've ever seen, and they have done all the work. They have all the printables. They have all the things to say. They're helping you with verbiage. They did everything. All you have to do is do it. So, good night, everybody.